The wise man built his house upon the rock. The wise man built his house upon the rock. The wise man built his house upon the rock. The rains came tumbling down. The storm came up and the rains came down. The storm came up and the rains came down. The storm came up and the rains came down. And the house on the rock stood firm.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the last week of Jesus Says. Whoa, it's felt like we've been doing this series for a really long time, which is cool because we've walked all the way through one of Jesus' most famous sermons, which is called the Sermon on the Mount. We've learned a whole bunch of amazing things. You probably remember some of the stuff about blessing, giving, asking, seeking, and knocking, maybe about being salty or lit, anger, or even prayer. And all that stuff has been really, really cool. And hopefully it's been impactful in your life as you go home and interact with friends and school and all that. The thing about it is we can still, even through all of that, we can feel like it's all about rules and about doing the right thing so that Jesus loves you and that you get an A+ at being a Christian. But Jesus was concerned we would miss the point. In fact, he says that a lot of people would claim to follow him, but some of them would not love him. So he even talks about how there'd be people coming and saying, look at all this cool stuff we've done. I mean, we've done miracles. We've done all this amazing stuff for you. And see, God, look how good we are. Look, Jesus, look how good we're doing. And that's because they would say, we're following all the rules. We listened to your sermon, Jesus, we're doing great. But he would know that what they were missing was not just following the rules, but knowing and loving him. So knowing and loving him was actually the point. And this is what Jesus was trying to get across. He wanted to make it clear also. And so he used an image at the very end of his sermon, and it was the imagery of building a house. Now, has anybody in here ever tried to build a house or help somebody build a house? Not me. The closest thing I've ever been able to do is work on Legos. When I was growing up, I had tons of Legos, and you might even have some now. If you ever try to build something with Legos, you know that it doesn't work very well if you start at the top. Instead, you've got to start at the bottom. You've got to build on something flat, like a table that's really strong, or on one of those square Lego pieces that you can build a bunch of stuff on. Jesus says this, if you hear these words and put them into practice, you are like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The winds and the rain come, but the house didn't fall because its foundation was built on the rock. And so, just like with Legos, you have to be really careful about what you build your spiritual life around. And so he says that our life is like the house. And every decision we make plays into how the house is being built. So if you build it on solid foundation, your life or your house, right, will be really solid. If you don't, it's definitely possible that just like building a sandcastle at the beach, the waves will come and knock the whole thing down. How can we live out Jesus' words in our life? Well, firstly, we've got to build it on the right foundation. We can make something beautiful with our decisions. Every decision we make affects how the house and our life will be built. But we first have to start with a relationship with Jesus. It can't be about doing the right things over and over and over again. Again, we talked a lot about what we've learned in Jesus Says in this series on the Sermon on the Mount. A lot of really, really great things. But the most important thing that Jesus is trying to get across is that following the rules doesn't always lead you to a relationship with him. And he really, really cares about you. He loves you, and he wants to have a relationship with you. If you have questions about that, a great first step would be to talk to your huddle leaders today or some other time, even outside of church. You feel free to reach out to them. I hope this series has been great for you guys. We've really enjoyed it. We hope that you understand more and more about how Jesus loves you and about the things he wants to build to help you build your life around him. Peace.